That's Winchester Cathedral by Taco, who performed in a special tribute to Fred Astaire in Austria at the end of 2016. He was on a few years ago with us. He has a new EP coming out, so let's invite him back. He's on the phone with me now. Welcome to the show again, Taco.
Good to be back, Chris. Happy New Year.
A very happy New Year, too. And it's going to be a good one for you as well.
Well, I hope so. I think a lot of exciting things are about to happen, and I got this bubbling under feeling again.
Well, you started off the year a little before this year began. You performed the upcoming Puttin on the Ritz 2017, an electro swing remake at a special Fred Astaire tribute in Austria.
Yeah, that was so cool. There were dancers from all over the world, and professional dancers, and ballroom dancers, and it's in one of the oldest hotels in Vienna, and definitely the oldest ballroom. And it was really exciting because I got to meet my new producers there and the saxophone player who was also on the record. So it was really crazy. This whole production was done in Hamburg, London, and Berlin. And we all finally got to meet there, and we even got a chance to tape the video.
That's a big difference between the music business of yesterday and music business of today. As you just said, you met your producers for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, you work with them.
It's so crazy. It's crazy, it's all international work now, At the moment, the record is being edited in London. So by the time I get to hear it, it's like, okay, big surprise. Who worked on that? Oh, cool.
Yeah, we can redo this, and I'll just send it to you there.
Yeah, that's right.
How did you get involved in the show?
This whole thing was kicked off by the Fred Astaire Dance Studio, which is a real big thing in the United States, and they want to come into the European market. So the man behind it, who was franchising it, got in contact with my management and asked me if I wanted to do a remix or a remake or a new rendition. And I said, yeah, great, why not? And there's going to be a very big reunion in Las Vegas this year, where I hope to perform. And from then on, the ball started rolling. So the next thing we'll be doing is we'll be meeting at the end of this month, trying to get the repertoire together. So by the time I go to the States, we should have a new CD together again.
So another Fred Astaire tribute will take place in Vegas. What's the plan for that? Where is this going to be?
Big surprise for me, too. This is all organized by the Fred Astaire Dance Studio, and and I hope to have the LP finished by then, and we'll have all kinds of Fred Astaire material on it, and we're sorting it out at the moment, so that should be very exciting.
And of course, you lead the new EP coming out in February, or at least that's the planned date, with Puttin on the Ritz 2017. We said before, an electro swing remake. Now, you did a cover of, or let's say another remake a few years back. How different is this one?
Well, this is really kicking ass. It's very up-tempo. It really moves. It's got scat singing. I mean, here I do a whole routine with a saxophone player, which I met in Vienna, and so that was a lot of fun.
So it's a very different variation of Puttin on the Ritz with a full sax solo, yes.
Because the last time I did it was a laid-back jazz version, and this time it's more like I do it live. We like to do more up-tempo, and it's got all the elements of a good new pop production in it. And I think it'll appeal to a lot of young people.
And that's the thing. That song is, in and of itself, very timeless. It has a history that a lot of kids probably don't understand today, and we'll get into that at another time. It's one of those songs, and I'll say this again, every decade has what we call timeless songs, timeless tracks. That's one of them from the early era, and there are plenty from them. And these will probably live on for another 100 years.
Yeah, because especially songs like Puttin on the Ritz, usually are successful in times of economic and world political stress. When it came out in 1929, we had the big Wall Street crash, and when it was a hit for me back in the 80s, we were on the brink of a nuclear war, and this this year we cannot say that we live on a very peaceful planet, and it's really funny that in tough times, people find their healing in that kind of music. Going out, and living as if it could be the last day of your life.
We just passed the Christmas season, and what is still played on the radio? A White Christmas, other classics from back in the first half of last century. It's nice to know that young people enjoy music that transcends generations from before us.
Definitely, and I feel like an advocate at this point in my career. And it's so much fun to see, young people in the audiences and enjoying it. And after all, hey, this is the American Songbook, and I think we can all be proud of our heritage. Something to pass on, to polish, and to keep alive.
Let's circle back to your EP. Along with Puttin on the Ritz 2017, you're going to have a few other tracks on it. What might your fans expect to hear?
I definitely want to do the way you look tonight. And we might even do some remixes of Let's Face the Music and Dance and Cheek to Cheek in a new rendition. And we're working on the repertoire, and it should be exciting to browse through the whole library of songs that Fred Astaire recorded in his time and see what works for audiences today.
Being a radio guy, we look to our earliest predecessors with reverence. Your Wolfman Jacks of the world, Dan Ingram, people like those guys. They're quite important to us at a level their fans may not realize. So in watching you, with that, what does Fred Astaire mean to you and other entertainers who sing and dance?
Well, he is our absolute idol. If you want to learn anything about showbiz, and how to create any kind of magic on stage, you have to study the greats. You look at Fred Astaire with Ginger Rogers. You look at
Gene Kelly's another one.
Yes, yeah. Somebody just posted that on Facebook, and they're bringing it back on the big screen. And I was so excited because I don't miss that movie anytime when it's on television. Yeah, it's watching the greats and learning from them.
That's the age-old argument. Fred Astaire or Gene Kelly. That's a big tie for me. It goes up for a tie-breaking question. But I do think that one thing Gene Kelly has over Fred Astaire is that Gene Kelly danced with both Jerry Mouse and Stewie Griffin.
Oh.
That was terrible.
Good one.
Good episode. But again, this goes back to timeless music, timeless performers. These people will be watched and admired for another 100, 200 years. And that's a good thing. And in an environment where maybe we don't see people respecting their predecessors, their elders, or learning from example, it's nice to see that maybe more people actually are doing that.
Well, I personally find it very important. You can be as progressive as you want, but when it comes to our heritage, I become very conservative because nothing really changes. The styles may change or whatever, but the attitude or the whole approach to showbiz or anything in life never really changes. The scene changes or the decor, but and as you see now with the big success of La La Land, it still functions. You just have to bring it, polish it up and bring it into your time. And that's why I really enjoyed doing this new rendition, because these are young producers from Berlin. Their music is hot. They have the places packed in wherever they go. And and it's modern. It's a music of today, and it's fun.
Your producers are Justin Fideli, Louis Prima, and Wolfgang Lohr. How did you hook up with them before you met them?
Well, like I tell you, the producer of the Fred Astaire dance studios, he got us all together. He's the man in the back, the producer, and he said, okay, I want to work with them. I want to work with Taco. I want to work with the saxophone player, and that's how the whole thing came about.
And the rest of the album will be with these guys. Any surprises that some of your longtime fans might find in it?
I'll be the first one to be surprised because I'm waiting for our next get together. So the next thing we'll be sorting out the repertoire. And we do hope to work with different producers for the EP. So that could be very exciting. You know, like nowadays, the DJs are the big ones, and certain DJs have a certain style of remixing songs. So that should be really exciting. We'll just tape the material first, and then we'll give it to different producers to remix it.
And that's a lot of fun because every once in a while I'll get this one track, the original track, and then the publicist will send me this DJ mix, the other DJ Miami Rockin' mix, the Ocean dub version of the Betty Crocker mix, that sort of thing.
Welcome to this century.
But they sound so different that makes it more fun.
Yeah, and alone on this very first EP, we have about 6 different versions of Ritz.
See, that's going to be terrific. You're going to have the, I guess, a more laid-back version, again, that electro synth version, maybe even something more upbeat. Hey, you never know.
Yeah, I'm going to be just as surprised as you are when it comes out.
You know what's even better is you mentioned you're working with a sax player, and I know it's remote. It's great to see a lot of musicians over the last 10, 15 years getting back to real instruments. I mean, a lot of people from the 80s held on to the regular brass and everything else, but the synth kind of took over. These days, maybe not so much the mainstream pop. A lot of artists want to use natural horns.
Yeah. I personally love working with live musicians like Tom X, who did the saxophone parts. And, you got to keep your colleagues in work, It's if we do everything just electronically, you put a lot of musicians out of work.
Taco Ockerse is with me on Revenge of the 80s Radio. Now, you were featured in a recent book by James Arena, Stars of the 80s Dance Pop, the European Edition.
That's right. And I'd love to promote this book to all of you and read in it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of artists are featured in it. Interviews with people like Amy Stewart or, one, yeah, now I got to read. I got my glasses. Okay. We got people like Gazebo, Hazel Dean, Jennifer Rush. Then we've got a lot of French artists. Then we've got Thomas Anders, Ryan Paris, Sabrina, Silent Circle, the Twins. Then, let me see here, Dead or Alive, Pete Burns, who died unfortunately. And it's turned out really nice.
It's not his only book. He's been doing a lot of others as well. He did one recently on the 90s.
Yes, it just came out, and he did a wonderful book on the whole disco era, disco girls, and he's a real aficionado, and it's fun. We did a lot of Skype sessions, to get this done. And he's a wonderful author, and we are also working on a biography. So if things kick off one day again and people are interested, we'll have enough material taped that that we can put out a book.
I think that would be interesting. A Taco biography. We'll definitely have you back on for that one. I know we did a lot of the past stuff with you, but it's going to be interesting to see how you grew up, who your influences were along the way. So I'm looking forward to a Taco biography, and I'm sure the listeners here are.
Well, that's what we all hope. I'm still, I'm very grateful that, I'm still working and healthy enough, to go out there. And, what more do you want as an artist?
Taco Ockerse, I want to thank you for coming on the air with us. Once again, you're going to be in Vegas very soon. We'll keep our listeners up to date on when and what the exact date is, but it's going to be a Fred Astaire tribute, much like the one in Vienna, Australia.
I really hope so, and it's fun. It's fun to see people out there in evening formal wear again, the girls in the beautiful gowns, and yeah, it's nice. I like that.
Shiny suits are what it's all about, too.
Yeah. I'm glad the tux still fit.
I had to get new ones, so if I go, if I go to see it, I'm going to wear the shiniest suit. This way you'll notice where I am, okay?
Okay. But we must meet.
Definitely, and I'm a Fred Astaire guy, so that has to happen. Also, your website, taco.tc, you can catch up on everything else, and that includes the upcoming EP, Puttin on the Ritz 2017. So everything will be wrapped up and available for digital download soon, and we're going to keep you up to date on that. We're going to play a premiere. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's the revenge of the 80s.
As our next president has said, it's going to be great. It's going to be big.
Yeah. Nailing it.
Yes. Let's play your duet with Rosa Worthman, Taco. Timeless Love. And I believe it's from 2011?
I wish. I don't know when it was recorded. The funny thing is the producers sent that record to me the other day, and I didn't even remember it. Like I said, I've recorded so many songs that landed in the drawer at some point, and I had completely forgotten that I'd ever done this song. It's the story of my life. Surprises left and right.
You've done too many songs. You just can't count them all. That's how it works. But we will play it right now anyway. This will be for our listeners' memory and for your memory.
Thanks for reminding the old man.
Taco, Ockerse, and Rose. I can't do this without laughing now. Taco, Ockerse, and Rosa Worthman. Timeless Love on Revenge of the 80s Radio.